My name is Justin Clayton with the Height Company, and I wanted to speak to a little bit of how the distributor views big box store competition. And one point that was brought out, we had an issue where we had a rep that was a very good line of ours, but basically a big box store had a better price on an item, and we had the same item, letter for letter, same cat number, and even the packaging was the same, so you couldn't even say that. But basically, the competitor was not just a little bit less than us, but a marginal percent, 35%, something like that. But basically, it came down to an issue where our rep said he couldn't do anything, and that was what we were stuck with. And we ended up replying that basically, if that's the way it'll be, and you are supposedly helpless in this situation, why don't we just go buy them from the box store and then resell them for a less cost than you can even provide them for? And they didn't like to hear that, because obviously that takes away from his commission because it's a different distribution line. But it's just an interesting scenario we ran into. But to the point of what we're expected now as distributors is we have to be conscious of, first of all, when we place our pricing, like one gentleman mentioned, being competitive with Amazon. And you can't be ignorant to it. You can charge a little bit more perhaps, but you can't assume that your customer is not educated on pricing now. We have to be a touch point. We have to be convenient to use. We have to offer warranty, stock, and also it's no longer good enough to be just an average distributor anymore. You have to be an expert. You can no longer just say, here's a catalog, pick what you like and get me a price. They'll pick what they like and go right on Google and get the price that they like online. So you have to really, I guess, follow the sale through and make sure you're complete. But the only problem that I have and what we're coming across is the Generation X now that views touch points no longer as a relationship but an inconvenience when they have to actually pick up a phone and dial a number. That's, I guess, the biggest challenge, I guess, that I see looking forward is my generation does not want to speak to somebody on the phone. And they may email or may not, and they may not even like that. They may prefer texting or just simply prefer going online. So I just see that as the biggest challenge that we are facing. Typically, not to speak for all purchasing agents, but what if your purchasing agent is an introvert or doesn't like speaking to or doesn't like forming a relationship? Then you have the issue where everything rely upon is numb to them. It's not something that would attract them. So just ease of use, I guess, is a roadblock. And that whole culture coming up is the next challenge, I guess, is engaging them somehow with some new attractive thing about distribution that would make them want to use us.
Thank you for those comments. It really got me thinking about what we did a long time ago is we classified our customers. We went through all of our customers and we didn't classify them. Well, let me just say what we did first. We classified our customers. We went through the customer base and we said, okay, these customers are our A customers. We will deal with them all day long. We want to play in their sandbox every day. No orders will ever go on hold. It's just they're fantastic payers. We need to know everything about those customers. They are the customers we truly want to partner with. Assign our sales reps accordingly. Then we had B customers. B customers were those customers that were good, they had great potential, but we had to teach them to be better customers for us. So those were the customers that we had a little bit different approach on in regard to their payment or organizational type things, trying to keep us efficient with them, returns processing, things like that. So we really sat down with our customers and scrutinized what type of customer they were, but we looked through the lens of credit more than the lens of buying habits. So I'm walking away from this conference saying, here I have a new lens on today, and I'm going to look at the customers that we have today, and I want to know, where are their buying habits going? How do we need to complement their buying habits now? And I think what's hard too, you look at one contractor house alone or one, industrial house alone, and you look at, you have the older generation that likes to do it one way, and you have the other younger generation that likes to do it a different way. What we need to be in tune with is, where is that company going? How are they growing their company? Are they going to land on those type of purchasing agents that really like to do it online? And they want that feel? Well, we had better have that feel and that touch in our company as well. So I'm going to go back. We're going to go over our customer base again with a different lens.
I think that's just a terrific idea because you have different kinds of people out there. We use a white sheet of paper approach sometimes to things like this. So each of you go back, and if you were just starting this business today, put up a white piece of paper, have your team say, okay, how do we be successful in what we want to accomplish? Who are our customers? Who are we buying from? What does this look like? Who's our competition? And if you could create your business today, what would you do? And think about that. And all of a sudden you go, oh, we don't need to be doing this anymore. It doesn't fit. It's a great exercise, and we've done that because when we approach a new product or a new market segment. The other thing I just wanted to mention, just again, I'm just trying to send up some flares to the group. There's a pricing collision occurring globally. And again, your pricing used to be very unique to you and your contractor. And then your contractor has a spa. And that all used to be the margins, and everybody kind of. And then big box retail opened up with these prices that supposedly were higher than yours. And then some cases, they were too low. And a big price change on PVC pipe sometimes, it was cheaper to buy it there. The reason that was that the big boxes have a terrible system to keep up their costing and pricing. We would give them a price change. Sometimes it would take them 6 months to change their sell price. They're so inefficient. Their whole system was bad. That's all getting better. But now, all of these prices are online for everyone in the world to see. So it's global. And I know a lot of you have put on your online sites high prices, thinking your contractor is going to put in his account number, and that's going to bring the price down to what your contractor actually pays. Your contractor can go out and find pricing now online everywhere. You have to be careful, and we got ourselves into a real jam because each channel has a different strategy on markup. You guys do, Big Box have, Ace Hardware has a different one, and now online. So we have different prices. This channel by far buys at the lowest price, and we sell you product designed for the contractor, designed for new construction and all that. So, but every now and then I'll find a price online that's low, and I go, where did that come from? So we're constantly trying to figure out, it's a collision that's happening out there. So don't think that your pricing is unique to you or anything. It's a global pricing issue by product now. And Amazon, there's two Amazons. Everybody knows this. There's Amazon.com and there's Amazon Supply. Two different models. Amazon Supply is a beta test site. It has 2.25 million SKUs currently being sold, 2-day delivery, free freight, credit available. It's incredible. Who's on that? Lutron, Leviton, Square D, all my competitors are on there, Fahrenheit, and we're not on there yet. I'm trying to figure this out. Whoa, what's going on over there? And then there's Amazon.com, which you have this new phone. Do you have the app? So I'm a contractor. I put on the Amazon app, and I take a picture, and I want 4 of those. 4 of those will be delivered to my shop in 2 days. That's how easy they make it to your contractor now. That's what's happening now. I think that what Mo said is right. Not all of your customers are buying that way. I think there's a small niche. I think you have some of your customers are traditional buyers. I think new construction, you will always own that, the specification. And I think what you said is exactly right. You need to look at that and just understand what's happening and why some customers are going to buy differently.
Yeah. My concern is that that small niche starts getting bigger and bigger. And that's, I think, what we all have to be aware of is to constantly be monitoring these changes and changes in buying patterns of our customers so that we can, and also we have to keep our own technologies up within our companies in terms of being able to, or, offer web order entry and that type of thing. Otherwise, if there is a substantial, more of a shift in that direction and we're not ready, then we're going to be in trouble.
So this conference really talks there's a lot of discussion about social media. One question I have for the panel, is there a social media that you or your company uses that you find beneficial? How's the industry going to wrap their hands around social media? I use social media in Twitter world for news. I follow manufacturers that we sell, and I find out of new products before my sales rep can make it to my office or even make a email. Can you expand on that?
Our company, we're not using social media at all. There are several in our industry that are doing a bang-up job with it. We've never been, let's say, a beta test site for technology at our company. We've got a 20-some-year-old computer system right now that we're in the process of evaluating. We're going to buy a new one. But I think the social media, I'm not of that generation, so it's kind of passed me by. So I'm hoping the younger people in our company will embrace that and keep an eye on what's going on. But I don't have much to contribute in that area.
So Ed, remember when I said earlier about surrounding yourselves with good people? So my answer to your question would be ask Caitlin. We do get ourselves involved in, and I know in social media, I am not I am still one that if I have a question, I'll walk down the hall and ask, or I'll pick up the phone, and I'm 45, so I'm in that, kind of balance there. Should I be a more social tech person or should I not be, but yeah, I think it's definitely something that I know we're actively engaged with. I know that we, again, Caitlin works on from our marketing standpoint, and we put out a lot of information. We do the Facebook thing, all that, and it's obviously here to stay. It's not going to go anywhere. The challenge goes back to me personally. How do I get myself involved as a leader to make sure that this resonates throughout the company?
The thing that I worry about with all the social ways of being connected is how many ways do we really need to be connected? I don't know. I don't have a Facebook account. I'm not the one who can be an expert in this at all. It's passing me by too. But my goodness, just the time I spend on emails alone, I don't have time for a Facebook. I don't have, at least I don't think so. Maybe I could be more efficient and I need training. But my thoughts and my attitude now is like, I really just pick up the phone now and say, hey, can we talk instead of doing this? Or, here's a little sheet of paper because I wrote a note on it. I'm not going to send you an email. I like those things. I guess productivity, again, I'm going to go back to productivity. How unproductive are we becoming with all the ways we think we need to be connected? Or maybe I'm the one who's unproductive because I don't know the more current ways to be connected, but I don't know how to shift either, So that's just the question in my mind. Do you have any feedback that way? Do you find it? Do you think, are you afraid of being unproductive? Is there a concern? Do you feel like you're scattered all over the place just trying to stay connected, or not?
I'll speak for myself. Twitter comes into play just for news, knowledge. Like I said, I can get new product knowledge from Twitter, from the manufacturers before I can get it from my rep, which I love dealing with. But that's kind of what I use as far as news, the construction news, manufacturer news, that I do. I'm on Facebook. It's all personal. I leave the business to that side. Twitter is more of a business, and LinkedIn for me. Facebook is strictly personal, and that's how I use it. And I found it helpful at times, overwhelming more time than any. But there's a lot of info that comes along the social media sites that travels faster than anything else we do.
What about the customers, though? How are you finding the customers using social media? Has that been a big helpful thing because you have these new hooks, ways to get into your company?
I mean, I think that's the hardest. I think that's what the whole industry is trying to figure out, is how our customers are going to use it. I don't know. You know, I talk to a lot of journeyman electrician guys that are in the field all day. You know, some of our manufacturers now have codes, the UR codes on certain tools that they can scan and get the info downloaded quickly. So I think that's coming into play for some manufacturers. I don't know, you know, I don't know how it's going to revolutionize.
Stay tuned this afternoon for our tech panel.
Well, I think you see it more with the relationship side, less the pure business or transactional. I think it's more, I've seen some of our sales reps connecting direct. There's a few customers that I know that now I'm friends with on Facebook or something of that nature, where it's just it's a different level of a relationship. So I think it's less, or at least that we've experienced at City Electric, it's less about transactional or pure business and more about deepening the relationships, be it on a customer end, manufacturer's rep, manufacturer, you know, anything of that nature is where we've seen the biggest, at least, adaptation into our business.
I agree with him. You know, I am friends with some of my customers on Facebook, and we are friends outside of the business also. And it's one of those things, getting to know your customers better. You know, I know what goes on in his life if he posts it. I don't, you know, read everything, but, you know, maybe his daughter wins a soccer tournament or his son baseball tournament. Next time I can see him, I can congratulate him without asking a question. You know, I don't have to dig into his life, you know, from the start of meeting for lunch or whatnot, and you can just start the conversation off. So I found that very helpful from the personal side, and it kind of gets you closer with your customers. That you know, we all have tons of customers that we have to see, so I find that easier than trying to find time to go meet each one face to face and find out the life story or what's going on in their life. So I found that helpful.